And with us now to continue our conversation, Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro, who represents the San Antonio area and sits on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, it's always great seeing you. I thank you for your time. You issued a statement just yesterday saying, quote, the Supreme Court has opted to allow for a trial run of a constitutional crisis. What do you mean by that?
Well, when the Supreme Court issued that stay, knowing that the Fifth Circuit was basically playing procedural games and not ruling on the substance at all of the law, they essentially were setting up a constitutional crisis. Now, that didn't happen because, again, the Fifth Circuit then issued a stay and said that they were going to have a hearing this morning. But look, this law, SB 4, was passed through the Texas legislature and signed by Greg Abbott as a right-wing reactionary piece of policy. And it is the state government trying to totally take over the function of immigration enforcement, which is unconstitutional, and which the state and law enforcement and judges and others in the state are completely unprepared for. And so it would be an absolute disaster that would violate civil rights. And in a state that's 40% Latino, most of it Mexican-American, would lead to the kind of racial profiling that we saw in decades past with something called Operation Wetback, where decades ago there were hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of U.S. citizens who were of Mexican descent that were deported to Mexico, even though they had every right to be in the United States. So that's what's at stake here, Jose.
And Congressman, I mean, I take you back just over 14 years ago with SB 1070 in Arizona. We remember Joe Arpaio, Maricopa County Sheriff, how he had outdoor prisons and 100+ degrees heat for people that were detained. That SB 1070, which has a lot of similarities with SB 4, was in many courts found unconstitutional.
Yeah, that's right. SB 1070 was found unconstitutional, and now that there is a more right-wing Supreme Court, you have people like Greg Abbott and the very conservative Texas legislature who want to challenge the constitutionality of laws like SB 1070, so they want to take another shot. I believe that ultimately they're going to fail, that this law will be found unconstitutional, mostly because it's completely unworkable. But like I said, the Supreme Court and the Fifth Circuit now keep ping-ponging procedural decisions.
Congressman, how does this end? You know, you talk about a constitutional crisis that this law is essentially bringing up, but there is a very real crisis and conflict with a state that believes that they have the right to either enforce or create immigration laws. How does this end?
Well, that's what makes it completely unworkable. Look, you can't have 50 states that have 50 different immigration laws. And that's why you heard Mexico say, we're not going to take folks that Texas tries to deport, because as a country, Mexico can't be responding to 50 different individual states and what they're doing. The way that it ends, I believe and I hope, is that this law is found unconstitutional and the Supreme Court makes clear that the federal government has the responsibility and the authority over immigration enforcement in the United States of America.
Congressman Joaquin Castro, it's always a pleasure to see you. I thank you for your time.